Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone has had a blessed week. And if you are watching me, you're blessed anyway. I'm addicted to coffee, you guys. Jesus. Okay, so I gave up. What is that on my nose? Well, y'all know I've been out here working already this morning. So, excuse my attire. And I just got to the point where as though natural hair, that's it. I finally uh, remember how I felt to get up and just take a lot of time for yourself. And I realized by no longer having natural hair, I didn't have to take time for myself anymore. I just put my wig on and go. I did my makeup and went. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going to be doing my makeup, but one at a time is just when that's going to be happening because this right here is my wipe. When I wipe my nose or my face or something like that. Hairband, I normally keep around my head, but anyway, back on the subject. So I was had stopped taking time for myself for a while, for a long time, and then I thought by my wigs or whatever else, it was saving me time. Even though it was saving me time, it still was saving the wrong type of time. I needed that time for myself to meditate, to talk to myself. Um, for those that believe in the power of prayer, I definitely believe in the power of prayer. I'm a living, proven witness of it. Um, I don't know. I just realized during this pandemic the things that we took advantage of, and the things that we um, totally forgot about that means a whole lot. Um, One of those main things is discipline. It is hard to um, maintain discipline, but I have a basic sense of moral duty and obligation to whatever I do, so I can't help myself. I'm going to, whatever task is given, whether it's being a mother, being a wife, whatever else, I will always discipline myself to make sure I do my job at the best um, capabilities possible. All right. With that being said, this is where I come at almost every beautiful morning, whether it's cold or not. I come outside. I sit. Might as well sit in the back of my yard, close by my tomatoes here, as you guys see, all my beautiful tomatoes, and I relax myself. I will, either read my Bible or I will meditate on things, or I will just talk to God and let Him know the things that I'm fearing, the things that I need guidance on, or it doesn't matter. I mean, it can be just as simple as, my finger been hurting for 2 days and Lord help it. I mean, sometimes you have to get in the habit of praying for the smaller things, um, and until you get to, I guess, those bigger things that, mean a whole lot as far as praying or whatever else. But anyway, I have my little handy dandy book that I normally keep all of my, these that going. Tiki, I got my tikis lit, and to keep the mosquitoes away, even though I got my off on. And the mosquitoes don't play no games out here. But yeah, so I got my book out here I normally keep for my yard to tell me when I have planted things, the things that I have mixed up as far as oils and things like that that came straight from the garden. Uh, I try to keep everything in one, even though it does not work that way for me. One minute I got this book, the next minute I come outside with my composition book. But I don't have more than maybe two to three books that I use. Um, And I think it's mainly depending on the season and what I'm planting, because if I know what I'm doing, what I'm going to use it for, I definitely use this rare book. But if I am doing experimenting, trial and error, things of that sort, then I will use definitely my composition book. Now, if I use anything else, it would be, some regular little paper or something like that that I have, scribble some things down when I was outside or something like that. But this garden really helps me to get back to myself and um, I guess my faith, believing, everything has a purpose. Um, uh, what else before we start on this tour and the things that I have to do in this yard? The yard definitely looks a mess, um, but it's my mess, so I'm fine with that. But yes, it is a mess out here. I have kidney beans that are dying back, but they're still producing. So the small pods that I have, I do take those off for cooking as if they were green beans. Uh, the ones that are bigger, more fibrous, I will leave those on the vine to get bigger and become, kidney beans, so I can go back and sow some more, or if I use it again for chili or something like that. Either way, they will not go to waste. Um, when they do get bigger, I don't advise anyone to eat those at all. Um, I've never seen my grandmother, rest in peace, never seen her eat them when they got too big. When I was little, I always saw them. I always saw her pluck them when they were skinny, small. Um, just getting a little something in it, I guess, because that's when the taste start coming in. What else? I got my gloves on like I'm about to get it right now. I'm so comfortable out here. Um, what else have I been working on? Oh, my sweet potatoes. So my sweet potatoes are back. Remember at first they took up that whole fence. They also was vining to the tree. I had clipped a lot of the slips so that I can take them into the house and have some growing for next season, so I can put them in the ground. Um, I am probably going to put sweet potatoes on both properties, so I will put them here and then I will put them in Virginia. We're going to see, since it's the same zone, for some odd reason, it may be 3 hours away. Um, well, 4, I think. Colonial Beach, Virginia, from Crisfield, Maryland. Either way, whatever distance that is, um, it's quite uh, weird when I think about that it's still the same zone. That's what I was trying to get out of my head, out my mouth. The same zone. So it's zone 8A there too. Gosh, I put that. I used that regular Blue Magic this morning to, like, in the water, and you gotta just. And for some odd reason, every time I use Blue Magic, this side of my head itch. Like, it itch really, really bad. Like, Jesus. Or I probably just cornrowed it way too tight. And just pulled my hair too much. But anyway. So yeah, so I'm going to take some of those and put those down there as well. We have been thinking about quite a few different things to do as far as that property down there in Virginia. My husband is conflicted between many ideas. So we're trying to put those down on paper and figure out where do we want to start first. Which one would be more resourceful, and then we're going to take it from there. In the meantime, we're going to take our spare time and try to keep up on it so that the trees down there don't get any bigger, and everything else just don't grow like crazy. And I am fine with the bamboo that grows down there because I've cut several. I'm fine with that end up growing on my property. I'm totally fine with that because I go to the freaking Lowe's and I buy the bamboo sticks, And matter of fact, I should just go get them. I can just show you better than I can tell you. Give me 1 second. I gotta show you the difference so you can know what I'm talking about. Call myself organizing in there. I really call myself organizing in there. For some odd reason, it's still a total mess. But as you see, look at this. So I got these from off the property, from up there, and look how thick these are. Now I have bought these from the store. I had got 6 of these for $5, and these suckers break in no time. And don't get me wrong, I'm using them on my tomato plants. As you may see, I got a lot of them on the tomato plants. And the thing is that when I put them in the ground sometimes and beat them down, these little flimsy things, man, they break. I mean, they broke in no time. Like, I have so many of these that I got half of a stick holding up a tree or plant or something like that. Not a tree, a plant, because, I mean, what else can I use this for unless I'm just going to, like twirl it. Like, oh, wait a minute, I'm about to kill myself. Unless I'm about to twirl it. Show the kids how to, play batons or something. I don't know. But it is no point to go to Lowe's and buy these. Pointless. Now, you can take some old wood from your house or something like that, old construction site or something like that, job that was doing construction, ask for the wood and cut those pieces up, because I have done that, which I have some of those on my kidney beans area here. So here, yeah. So yeah, you can definitely cut those up. And I got this all from my grandmother, so bless her heart. She always got something I can use. Man, I'm telling you, grandmothers put here for a reason. Not just to give you things, neither. And don't take that the wrong way. I'm just saying they always have something you can be able to use, whether it's a good advice, whether it is something materialistic, whether it's just an emotional support system, a hug, whatever. Like, it's nothing like a hug from your grandmother, you know. But anyway, like I was saying about the bamboo, it's easier to deal with these. This one is way thicker. I cut this one myself down to size. I try to cut them even, but they're a little uneven. But try my best. But hey, it's better than the ones I bought from the store. Even the ones that are a little bit more thicker, they still actually broke as I put them in the ground. That's why they're all different sizes as far as height. Let's see, other than that, I guess that's all I pretty much do here in the morning is sit, relax myself, talk to myself, look at my garden, write down the things I need. I do have this paper that I go over every morning. This may sound really, really weird, but I wrote down some things that are related to me. I keep hearing like little steps. Oh, that's the chicken. I mean, the rooster next door. One of them is blind, so they just roam free. Some dogs came and attacked them, I guess, and it's really, really bad, I guess. Apparently, luckily I was not living here when that happened, but whew, I can imagine how she could have been going through something like that. And those are her babies. But anyway, I also go through, it's a little piece of paper that I always just have on my clipboard with me. So when I come out here, even if I forget my Bible or something like that, or, I'm not into it, because I prefer to read my actual Bible instead of reading it on, your phone or something like that, because it's nothing like opening up a book. It's nothing like doing something that is very, very important, and we just completely just stop doing it, for no reason. Like, I watched this video or this segment or whatever you may call it, episode of T.D. Jakes, and it's called Untouched. And when you think about the idea of being untouched, the first thing that came to my head was being out of touch with not only yourself, but the people around you, being out of touch with the people in your homes. Dealing with this coronavirus, we have been forced to be faced with the mere fact of us not reaching out and touching the ones we love the most. And half of the times, it's the ones that's in our household, because we work so hard, you let your head down, you do what you want to do in your own home. Your home is a safe place for you to make mistakes. But at the same time, we take advantage of that and neglect that. And we go out there in the world and we treat the world way better, or people out there in the world way better than we would treat the people in our household. And that's not on purpose. It's because you already know what I feel. You already know I care. You already know this. You already know that. So we go through that a whole lot, and we expect for the other person just know what's going on. Or, we expect the other person to keep validating, the love that they have for us, even though we know it, we feel it, we just want to hear it, even though we see it, So I just advise you to actually go look at that video, Untouched by T.D. Jakes. If I'm not mistaken, it came out in December 2019 or sometime this year. I'm not sure. I watch almost all of his videos. Sometimes when I'm feeling overwhelmed, or I see a lot of social media posts of, people, even though it may seem like they're happy, deep down you can tell that they are going through something through the wording of their posts and things like that. So for me, very empathic. So it overwhelms me at times, and it overwhelms me. I mean, not like it's not like anyone doing it on purpose. It's just I just feel for everybody. I can't help it. I can't help it. I mean, I am that way to a fault. But anyway, just a few things that I wrote down that I go through every single day, and and I just look at these. Optimism. I have cultivated the mere fact that tomorrow will always be better than today. My intelligence. I mean, I love my brain. My brain, I think, is the most valuable asset that I have. Literally. Open-mindedness. To me, everything stands for something. I'm a nice person to a fault. I'd rather get walked over than be selfish. I have goodwill. I am too nice. I trust everyone. And I don't care if, you show signs of someone else that have completely disrespected, me prior in the past or whatever. That's not that person's fault. And unless that person has done something to me, that's only when I will back off. And at that same time, I will still pray for that person, but I will just back off so that I don't continue to get abused by the person that, I am acquainted with, so. But I don't have a poker face, so whatever I feel, that's just what it is. So I never was a good liar. So when it comes down to me lying, I mean, there's like place to go. Really, T. So, well, it's my imagination. So, this may sound a little crazy. Yeah, it do sound a little crazy. And now that I think about it, a little crazy. But, my imagination. Okay, so listen. If I'm stuck in a situation and I can't rule myself out of it, I don't want to disrespect anyone or make them feel uncomfortable because I see something in them that, either used to be in me or, you know, I see something in them that can possibly keep damaging them or hurting my. Long story short, I will drift off in my head. I may, in front of your face, I may be okay, fine, seem like I'm listening to you. But if it's too much, I would drift off into my imagination and I will probably start praying or going back over an old scene of Popeye the Sailor Man, you know, Betty Boo or something, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I mean, Bambi. I mean, I'm not seeing that. I probably, go off in my imagination and I will not be anywhere near there. Um, However, when I do things like that, you probably won't see me again for a very long time. But it's not that I am running from that person. It's because I don't know how to address that person at that time. So if I don't know how to address that person, or if I feel as though that person is not willing to be addressed at that time, I pretty much go to my prayer room with it. So my prayer room can be in my head or the room I built inside my, not built, but the room I have inside my home. I actually built that as my prayer room where I go there, and sometimes I spend quite a bit of time sitting in there, just praying in general for families and things like that. But being my own best friend, so um, you're the only person that got that. Whether you're married, single, divorced, separated, relationship, whatever situation you are in, you still have to wake up and go to bed with yourself. You are the only person that can change your perspective on life or change your mind about your perspective on life or anything that can be convincing for you. You the only one that has the power that can convince yourself that yes, this is right for me, no, this is wrong for me, or it's wrong but I'm still do it, it's right but I'm not going to do it. So you have that power to do that, and people don't understand that at times. Even when they do understand it, they don't know how to um, embrace it and make, and it's just like I said, go back to that untouched video where as though they so busy, touching their phone all the time. The metaphor that he used, associated with the selfie. Yes, we take our selfie, we post our selfie, we wait for someone to like our selfie. If people don't like our selfies, we go back, start again, and try again and keep trying and trying and trying until we get this certain amount of likes, and with those likes we realize what we want to do and whatever else, and that's the type of pictures that people want, so we give the people what they want. What about what you want? You have to be your own best friend. You can't be no one else's best friend without being your own best friend first. What else is on here? And I actually talk to myself like this in the morning too. So I'm pretty sure my neighbors by now probably think I'm crazy because, like, literally, I don't even have a device when I'm out here. I'm just out here, and I'm actually engaging and having a conversation with myself because sometimes that's what you need, especially when your mind going a little crazy with this pandemic, and then you got 4 children, you got one that's off to college, you got one that's in high school, you got one that's in middle school, you got one that's in elementary, and then you got a husband that's going through panic attacks off and on because, say, of the fluctuation of the income that comes into the home. So everyone has their own separate issues, but I make sure that mommy time, because mommy is not going to be strong enough to be able to deal with anyone else if I don't have time for myself. So everything doesn't suit everyone, but when you find your knack, you find it, you embrace it, you become your own best friend. Like I said before, discipline also. Discipline, I have a basic, like I said, I have a basic sense of moral duty and obligation to whatever my task is. Minimalism. So, because I don't think I put that on here, did I? I don't think I did. So minimalism, um, basically, how can I say that? I'm basically making room to fix problems in my life, whether they're big or small. So I don't mind minimizing things, putting things out the way because this is priority. I fully prioritize what's very important to me. Sometimes, I can get a message on my phone, and don't get me wrong, I want to engage that person. I miss that person. I love that person, but I can't even get into a conversation with that person or respond back to that person because I have to prioritize either my kids, things they have going on, my household, things I have going on, or, my goals I'm working on for myself, which is becoming a um, heck of a role model for my girls, breaking my generation curse as well. Um, a lot of people think of generational curse as being uh, something so hard to break, and it takes it takes the whole family to get together to do it. And since they won't do it, I won't do it. Since they can't unconditionally love, I won't do it. If they don't want to talk to me, I ain't gotta talk to them. See, things like that is what keep that generational curse keep going, no matter which aspect you look at it. So why you think now family reunions have went downhill. you know um, 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 it's time for the following generation to take over when it comes to these family functions. And what are we doing? We are trying to be um, uh, we are untouched, trying to be touched. And because of that, um, a lot of us have our priorities really mixed up. And it takes a village to raise a child, yes. And sometimes when you do not have a village to help you with your child, you have to pray for the strength of a village to raise your child. And when we come out of this pandemic, what mind frame will you be on? Will you have lost more than you have gained? Will you have gained more than you have lost? Whether it's materialistic or emotionally, or it all just depends on your circumstance. But anyway, the first one I should have said, which I said it earlier, was my faith. Like I said, believe that everything has purpose. But manners, 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 manners. Now, before I give you my definition of manners, no matter of fact, let me just give you my definition of manners. This is a very basic form of respect, and again, one that's often missing today. Now, I got this quote from someone else, but I liked it, so I wrote it down, and I kept it, and I look at it every single day. But I remember when my husband and I first got together. That was maybe it was 20. Well, January, it'd be 20 years ago. So 19 years ago, my husband and I got together, and we used to always talk about how people don't open the doors anymore. For elderly, I mean, we would watch it when they just slam. I mean, the door, people just walk in, or they're hurt and cut in front of the elderly person to just get inside the store and let the door just slam. You have it where still men wouldn't even get up. Like sometimes to just ride the subway for no reason, or to get a break, I guess. Or uh, when I was in medical school, I caught the subway all the time, and I was pregnant then, and it's maybe Monday through Friday I rode that subway, and maybe once or twice I've had someone get up and give me their seat, you know, um, and one time it was a female, The other time was not a meal. I realized that, kids are beyond disrespectful these days. So it is sad, but it has nothing to do with the child itself. It has everything to do with how we are parenting. We have to adapt to the technology that we have now. So because everything is at these children's hands and all they have to do is reach out and touch something, come on now, to find out whatever they want to find out, or to see things, to feel accepted and things of that sort. I have one of my children had her device taken so that she can be a little bit more focused. And for some odd, weird reason, um, she was so overwhelmed with anxiety from not being able to socialize with her uh, social media buddies. Mind you, a lot of these people she had never met before, as far as physically. But she was so overwhelmed that she went into a severe panic attack. Severe. Um, I mean, we tried our best to just talk with her. We calmed her down and we told her the reasons why. We allow her to uh, trickle in with it here and there if her grades are right, or if I catch her always, doing the right thing according to what mommy right thing considered is, which is keeping her room together, praying, um, you know, watching something that you can learn from, or that is going along with your curriculum, so that, just do something else different. Go out and take a walk every day. Do something within the routine to discipline yourself. And she does things like that, and she doesn't realize that she's actually um, uh, preparing herself for later in life. Mommy knows that, but right now, all she looking at it as I'm gonna get out here and run every day. Mommy gonna let me get that little couple of minutes on social media. I'm gonna make sure I do all my work, and I'm gonna finish early and on time, because when I'm finished on time and something isn't right and I ask my teacher tell me, I go back and fix it again, and then she doesn't understand that she is setting herself up for a strong backbone when she's out there. Every child you have to teach differently. They all learn differently. Um, my son, he learns like that. You say something twice, he never forgets it. If it's something hard, you sing the song with some life to it, he never forgets it. My youngest daughter, she's very challenging. She's really into music. A lot of her things I taught her before second grade, she remembers everything. Not one thing she forgot. I even taught her things that were on sixth grade levels because, she loves science and experiments and things like that. So we used to go through all those little videos and things like that. And she remembers those things. But by the time she got to fifth grade, that was a different story. By that time, I had went back into my career full-time instead of being part-time. And so it took time away from home, time away from teaching her. She was actually, for 3 years, stuck in that second grade level. And without me even knowing, the teachers never said anything. They kept giving her regular grades. It took for me to move her to another school zone, and by her getting in that school zone, the teachers were very engaged with their students and with the parents. And even if you didn't want to be engaged with the school, they reach out to you. They don't care if you a knucklehead parent and you just had your kids to do whatever you wanted to do, and you just want to work and come home, and you feel as though the school is the babysitter and the mother and the father and the pastor and whatever else because you think that. No. They still go out and reach. You can curse these teachers out. I've seen parents be very disrespectful to these teachers or principal, whatever else, and they didn't care. They still put their foot down, and they still ask for that parent to come out and support their child. Those are things we don't have no more. With that being said, that's why also on my list is family first. Family should always be first. You should not go out there and take care of nobody else before your family is taken care of physically, emotionally, and verbally. You tell your children every morning how beautiful, how handsome they are. how much you love them. You give your children hugs every day. You try to, I know a lot of parents are working or going crazy. Sometimes you can, it's been times that I was severely depressed. And because of everything that was hitting me at one time in a part of my life in 2017. And I remember that I felt as though I couldn't even get out of bed. And with that being said, I still didn't, you know, lay around and not spend any time with my kids. I had their behinds join me in that bed too. And we watched them movies, we laughed, we ate that popcorn. The house may have been a little bit of a mess. Uh, uh, we watched hair videos, and I wouldn't let them mess with my hair, I'm too tender-headed. But, you know, I go get them little things from the store, you know, um, so we can just play with it at home. And I went through a real bad social anxiety issue because my job was robbed and I was attacked by a stranger on PCP while at the nail shop. So I ended up isolating myself. I didn't know I was doing it at first. It started off with me saying, nah, I'm good, I don't want to go. And then it got to a point where they was taking family pictures and I wasn't going. And then it got to a point where I was in the house hiding behind my walls. If it wasn't for me having to go out to go to work, because I had to, I would never have went out that door. And that's when I actually really started seeing my strength, because I knew how sick I felt walking out that door for what had happened to me. And but I knew that if I didn't leave out that door, you know, I couldn't help my baby feed my babies. So I didn't care how I felt. I sweating bricks. Underarms used to be like completely drossed in sweat. I mean, like, I'll put my makeup on and like literally sweat it out, you know, because I know I'm getting ready to go outside that door. But long story short, by the grace of God and by the power of prayer, I got through that. And seeing the way that works was a heck of a thing. It strengthened my hope and things of that sort. And sometimes hope can be taken from a child as young as 3, and you'll never get it back until you're 33. That's what happened to me. But anyway, no complaints. So even if I want to complain about something, even if I can't stand something, I'm human, so if I start to complain, I try my best to stop myself. If I keep complaining, it's because I didn't catch myself yet. But I try my best, no matter if it's something that I should complain about, I do not complain about it at all. I let things go, things that I have no control over. Why am I going to overwhelm myself over it? The same way with this pandemic. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people may look at myself like, okay, all right, well, she has somebody that's going to help her. I've had people even say that. You have a 2-parent home. I'm a single mom by myself. I'm a single dad by myself. That's understandable. But God wouldn't give you more than you can bear. I'm pretty sure that I would not be able to bear me raising my kids on my own. And that's why I was blessed the way I was, to have my children have 2-parent home. By myself, when I was out, depressed, sad, thought life was over for me, I laid there in that bed. And even though I laid there in that bed, he still got up. No matter how depressed he was by watching me, he still got up and took care of his family. By me watching him keep moving, no matter how much his body was hurting and how much he was in pain, it pushed me to keep pushing, to get up. Because I started realizing too, the generational curse was repeating itself, even though it was a different time, even though it was done differently, it still was repeating itself. It still got to the point where life had beat me down so bad, which it has done for others. Life has beat me down so bad to the point where I'm ready to give up. If I had the wrong person in my life at that time, I would have been doing the wrong things. But because at that time, what was going on, everything just happens for a reason. long story short, um, awareness of death is one of these things I wrote on here recently. So I don't have anything beside this one here. On this one here, I don't have awareness of death and a couple other things I don't have. Because off and on I add more on here. And awareness of death, I am aware that our body is a vessel. And we are put here on this earth to do our purpose. We are here to be fruitful and multiply. We are here to build legacies and to create strong, strong backbones within our children, because they're going to get beat down. The older they get, life going to beat them down, peer pressure, all that. All that's going to beat them down. And what mommy saying, mommy always say this, they don't want to believe no mommy. They don't want to believe no daddy. They want to go find out on their own. That's what all of us pretty much did. We want to go find out on our own. But having the awareness of death was one of those things that I'm glad the Lord helped me with before I lost my brother, December 7th, 2019. Losing him was a huge wake-up call. I already had my wake-up call as of 33, 35 now, as far as church, but it was a lot, but I finally got through it. Good morning. But having an awareness of death helped me to get through mourning him a lot better. I think if it was any other time, I would have been back in that bed, not moving again. So, yeah. Appreciation of the little things. We have a tendency of not appreciating things that majority of people will consider value. So we don't appreciate priceless things like time, compassion, empathy, love, self-awareness, motivation. We don't appreciate those things anymore. We rather give our child a device versus sitting down and talking with our child. If our child is screaming and hollering, we give them a device, we'll scream at them and tell them to go to a room, and then we wonder why they have an issue. And they feel as though they are untouched because we don't touch them, we don't hug them, we don't talk to them, we don't make them feel special. Loyalty, work ethics, they go hand in hand. For myself, I'm very loyal, and I'm very loyal for whomever I'm working with and working for. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. That's just all it boils down to. I don't care what type of job it is. Literally went from working 5 years straight, doctor's office, top notch, might as well say. I had that's bragging. Bragging is one of those things I put on the paper, no bragging. Because if I help myself with that, I think it'd be better. But I'll be better. But yeah, I consider myself as the best in my field. And then I did the best job ever. Seeing how much time it took away from my kids, I didn't even mind going back to Applebee's, working as a bartender / server. Don't get me wrong. The pay was different, but I was able to spend more time with my children. Sometimes you have to think about, like, they didn't ask to be here. Don't get me wrong. We want to have those $1 million houses. We want to have those big, expensive cars. We want to keep up with the Joneses. Well, I am a Jones, so I keep up with myself. But we want to keep up with the next person. We desire things, and we have every right to desire things. But the way we go about getting things and the things that we neglect or the people that we neglect to get those things are wrong. That does not make you loyal at all. Um, it makes people distrust you and pretty much make you feel kind of um, uneasy every time you're around that person because you just don't know where they're coming from or what they're capable of doing because if they can't put the one they're supposed to love first, then they're just too selfish. Uh, I don't have a degree, but not only do my kids say this, some of the associates I talk to say this as well. But I swear up and down I'm some type of urban philosopher, you know. I just love talking about things that matter to me the most, which is family, love, balance, boundaries, um, all those things. It's just like they just make you feel so good. Like I feel as though I'm the queen of my throne. And I'm the queen of my throne not because, my husband bought us a house, not because my husband, you know, bought me a vehicle, not because, you know, he um, has unconditional love for me. I am a queen because I look at myself as a queen. Um, I realized when I went through all those different hairstyles and I was gray, and one minute I was black, and the next minute my hair was green, and I hated that like a witch. But um, I mean, well, red, I'm not gonna lie. My hair get full enough and get some more length to it, where so I can take the damage that may happen. I will be fiery red again. That was a color that was on me that, oh my gosh, it just brought the just whoo out of me. But anyway, so yeah, I went through a whole lot of colors, a whole lot of different shapes. I even went to the point of cutting my hair completely off a few years ago. Um, I mean, when I say off, I mean skin, bald, off, like hair and head and face was exactly the same. Just my face had a little bit more of a tan than my scalp did because I used to wear wigs all the time, so I never really got no sun. But yeah, I went through a journey and trying to find myself for a while. What was I going to write down? No bragging. Um, yeah, I went through an identity crisis issue trying to find myself, and that's because I didn't know who I was. I still don't know where I came from, my family history, background. Those are things that later on I will get into. My girls and I want to complete a book of our family history as far as go back as far as prior to slavery if we can. Um, I don't know. I just want to find out. I want to know. I mean, it's not something that I'm gonna die if I don't find out who I am. I have a pretty much of an idea of uh, what I may have in me. You know. For the things that I like, the things I love to eat, um, the things that I need, for my body to even have my hair grow, nails to grow, my skin to do well. Like, having a hair journal and a health body journal and a journal as far as for your mind as well, uh, it's a good thing because you can go back to those journals and look at certain things. And I kind of put things together and say, hey, people that lack these things, they come from this side of the world. And, so I put my theory together. And I'm going to test my theory when I go and get my testing done and, find out, after this coronavirus, find out, my DNA history. Other than that, of course, my husband just woke up. I need to get some time for my baby. Uh, he's going to go get my babies today. They are at their cousin's house, relaxing themselves. I think they had too much free time. Mommy is a little nervous and or paranoid about them being out away from mommy, and mommy can't make sure they're wearing their masks, keep washing their hands, I have been beyond germophobic. But excuse me. But yeah, it's so peaceful out here. But yeah, that's what I do, and that's how I do it. And I'm gonna get to the rest of this yard today. In the meantime, let's take a little bit of a tour before I get these gloves on and get to digging. Because I have some green onions in there on my counter that I am probably going to do a video and just show how I popped them in the ground straight from the store. They actually did not come from the store. They look like they did though, because normally you'll get the green onions in a bunch. You'll take and cut them down to the white. You would chop them up, use them however you want to use them, and then you would throw them away. Why? Me, I pop them into the ground each and every time. That's why earlier this year, before I moved here, I had several green onions. I gave some away to my aunt. Shout out to my beautiful aunt, Queen Sharon. She loved them. To me, they were losing some of the flavor because they started bolting and going to seed, because I had them for a few years. But they were actually bolting and becoming bulbs too. So I learned something new. I gave the whole batch away. I only kept maybe a handful of them because I needed some type of onion taste for the times that I don't have onions in the house. And I start all over again with the herbs and everything. So I'm pretty much going to have to do that again because of the weeds. I can't control them in the yard. They are a mess. They take over and they come through like it's nothing to it but to do it. So I'm letting my watermelons go. All of my squash plants go. I'm starting to realize the tree that I have here behind me, I may have to remove that tree eventually. I'm probably going to start trying to remove it or cut it back. Maybe this winter. That may be a project that I start on doing. I'm realizing that this tree is causing or has a lot of mold, and mold spreads. And half of this tree is dead, and the whole front portion there is dead, and that's the reason why I had grew the gourds on them. So even though the gourds are extremely healthy, the root at the bottom, the vine at the bottom is extremely healthy. It's really, really thick, really, really solid. The part that's going around the tree at the bottom, where the mold is already on the dead part of the tree, has transferred over to the leaves of the gourd plants. And as you see the light leaves there, when I walk around you'll see it closer. But yeah, so I said I don't want any more of my plants molding, so that tree gotta go. I'm gonna do it bit by bit. I gotta figure something out. Ask my husband how we're gonna do this, because I definitely want a trellis to be almost that high if I can. If not, I'm thinking about on the back of my home, I'm thinking about maybe building something in the corner. You can't even see the corner. Let me see. Okay, well, it's a little bag. Let's see. It's a little bag right here in this corner. Beside that bag right there, there is a little spot where some dirt is at or whatever else. By seeing how big that vine had gotten on the gourd. I want to plant a gourd there next year, and then have it just trail up my home. If it go over the back um, area, I'll easily be able to get to that. It'll be all over the home, you might as well say, and hang it from the house. And it can go as tall as it wants to go. Because here, they said that this thing supposed to get about 10 to 15 feet tall. That was a lie. They didn't say if it was in a watery place that it would get over 30 to 40 feet tall. That is a lot. Something bit my back. That gonna all supposed to work for at least 10 hours. It's sitting on the cane. Everything always lying. Let's see. I guess it's time to take out a little bit of a tour. Thank y'all for listening to me so far. I love to talk. Everyone who knows me knows that I love to talk. I love to talk about things that matter to me the most. I would love to talk about things that matter to you the most as well. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you are looking for. Let me know what you feel, what you think about just life in general. That's the main reason why I started the gardening, was to incorporate some of these things that I learned through trial and error into my teaching for my children. Because one, they will see this, what I'm doing. They will hear the complaints that I may have about the things that's going on in the yard. But then, they also hear the positivity that I say after. It's like, okay, you know what? Oh, well, I'm going to have to make it work for me. Guess what? I'm about to do this way. And I've been seeing them sitting back, listening to me and watching me, and then mimicking the same words I've been saying and are doing, or telling the same things to their friends. That's a beautiful thing. Mommy was paid in full by hearing that. When I say I was paid in full by hearing that, paid in full, I mean, it's nothing more than for a mother to see her daughter or daughters becoming prominent God-fearing women. All right, so let's go ahead and start on this tour. So let's get to this backyard. Got something in my tooth. Let's make sure we ain't got no, what you call it? Spiders. These spiders, they off the train out here in this camp. Sorry about that, y'all. I was taking my little camera thing out. I don't really know why I kept it in there. I had my arm all in the way. All right, so my husband must be going to the store really quick. I guess he was getting ready to come back here and tell me that. But I guess he saw me on the phone. On the phone, so I guess he's like, let me just let her be. Those eyebrows. Tell me, why, Mom, why? Oh, there I go complaining again. But really, Mom, why it just never grew in? It's like, no, I'm dead serious though. Why they never grew in? I mean, she permed them, she Vaselined them, brushed them every day. Even I did it, just didn't work. But so corn is doing pretty well here. We have several different herbs that I have just threw the seeds down in here. We also have some peas that are stringing up. We're supposed to be stringing up. Here we have some peas. We have some weeds in there too. We have some cilantro, and of course the radishes are up front all here. all there. In the front row. They're doing pretty good. I have, of course, keep my compost bin over there. That is full. I need to turn it though. I had a sugar baby watermelon here that I only got one off of it so far. So I ripped it up yesterday. Over here I still have my sweet potatoes going on and doing this little thing. I took a lot of slits in the house, like I said earlier, to propagate for next season. But in the meantime, I still have some growing out here. I'm going to let this go for the rest of the season. Now, the issue I was talking about with that mold, I don't know if you can see it here, but it's directly on. There's bees everywhere out here. I love this. But it's directly coming from the tree. In the front of that tree there, actually you can't see it from this angle. However, we're going to be walking around there, so you're definitely going to be able to see it. But sorry the way I'm holding this camera. I know I'm holding it all over the place, but hey. And y'all, Dollar General have all these on sale. 50 to 75% off. Take advantage. This was $1 and something. And my son loves it. It is too cute. It is too cute. But we're going to make some bird houses ourselves. And we're going to do that as a family. And hang them up out here. And it'll be really, really pretty. Of course, my kidney beans are doing well. And remember, I told you that I definitely take these and harvest these as green beans. So when they are, no coffee, don't drop. So when they are about this size, see this? I will harvest them off and eat these like this. When I miss them and they get too big, I have some all through here are definitely too big. When they get too big, I leave them on spider web. I leave them on the vine, and then I let them go to seed so that I can use them in my chilies again following time, or I use them to sow again the following season. I have some Market More cucumbers. This is my first time growing these, and my cheeks are so chubby. Look at my cheeks. Let's see these Market More cucumbers. Let's see if I can get a great look at these. My zinnias are so beautiful. I'm going to cut some of these zinnias here. I'm going to cut this one and take it in the house. Watch, my son is going to be like, oh, mommy, it's so beautiful. Look at it. Or I'll probably have him come out and cut it. I think that would be better. Now, I was going to come out here and it was going to be some late sowing. But I was going to come out here and sow some potatoes. And I ain't lying either, because look. So I have potatoes right here. I was going to put them in the ground, but then I come back here and realize this sucker is already here. So guess what? I'm going to let that go. Let's see. Let me get back here past this plant here. Get over here, behind here with all these pollinators and mosquitoes, and they doing their own little thing back here. But I have some, let's see, where is the camera? I have some cucumbers there down at the bottom. I have some up top too. I have some new ones just coming in all over the place. Here, I had one here. I mean, they're all over the place, and they're so cute, and they're hanging. And then some of the bugs got to these. I don't know what type this is, or it's probably lacking something. So what I did was I just recently treated this with some organic neem oil type spray and see if maybe that will work. If not, I mean, who cares? Long as the fruit are producing and the plants are continuing to vine. And once it make it to the tree, it will be time for me to do a complete full harvest. My plants are definitely trying to go over to the next yard. Periodically I come out here and I get those and bring them back over the fence so that they just not over there and the people don't come and run over them and cut them up, because they will cut them up quick. The man before that came and cut the yard, I had a plant going through the fence and man, they just ran slam over it. It's not their fault. I should have caught it in time enough, but I didn't. Let's see. My son little area here, I haven't told him yet. Oof, something really bit my back. I haven't fully told him yet. I have been trying to see how long he's going to help mommy first. But I'm thinking about giving this little area here to my son. He helped mommy a whole lot in transplanting our herbs that's going to be for our family, as well as our green onions. And we put some marigolds over there inside the bricks there, and as well as some purple basil. That is beautiful. Matter of fact, I need to walk over there towards that. Now, I think purple royalty, beautiful, beautiful. I see why it's considered royalty purple. But let's see. Oh, I got 2 more sections in here in these bricks that I can fill in. But let's see. You see this? I had transplanted this. I don't know if you can see it well. And this is beautiful. Look at this purple. This is a very beautiful purple. There's purple basil. It's a beautiful plant. And not only is it beautiful, but it's very tasty, especially when you have burgers. And if anybody love mozzarella cheese on their burgers, or what they call them, cowboy burgers, I guess. If you love things like that, you don't know what you're missing out on if you don't put any purple basil on top of it, because it's definitely worth it. Let's see. Of course, you guys know my squash is over there growing. It's been hiding in the corner. I had my son bikes, car, ATV, car, and all that stuff right here at first. I'm trying to hide it, as well as I put a cup around the bottom, a styrofoam cup. So they didn't get to that vine over there for that one. So that's a beautiful thing for me. These are the plants that I'm pretty much probably going to try to save. This pepper plant here, I will try to save by pruning this one at the end of the season. At the end of the season, prune this one completely back and down to the V at the bottom. I don't know if you can see it. It's a V at the bottom. No, you can't see it. Anyway, there's a V at the bottom here. And I will prune that all the way down to there. Transfer it into like a 1-gallon pot. And then bring it into the house and overwinterize it. And then I will be ahead of the season next year. Yay. Alright, so you guys remember on September 19th, I have planted some garlic, and then I had gave an update on it on, I think, the 2nd of October. It is now the 11th of October, and it's not much of a difference that the visual eye can see, but they are taller if you saw the video prior. Yeah, I'm glad I got a top on this cup. But you see, there we go. Oh, my garlic sitting here. Bang, bang. And I got some new ones that I put in a couple days ago. And they are coming up as well. Yeah. And remember when I put this down on the 19th that my marigolds were nowhere near this tall. And my radishes was nowhere near this big. And my kidney beans were nowhere near this full. So, look the way God works. This got filled in no time. And I have several beans on here that I'm definitely going to pluck today and tomorrow. Look at all those on there. All those. I mean, there are several. I stopped counting at like 50 yesterday. Alright. I only put oregano here. And then I have some other little things coming up. I sprinkle down some seeds. I have to go look back at my book and see what exactly I sprinkled down there, because I just threw them down. I just don't remember exactly what it was. So, and I didn't label it because my labels keep ending up messed up or from the rain and things like that. But remember I was talking about the front of the tree where the mold was. And let's see if I flip this around. That's the problem holding on to this coffin. This right here is molded there. So since it's molded there and on the rest of the tree, it then went all the way on the vines there. And the vine itself is still healthy, so, and it's still producing a heck of a whole lot of more fruit. Or vegetables. I don't know which one they call the gourd tree. I mean the gourd plant. But anyway, that's like a little brief update. Might have some little muncher cucumbers that are coming in too. These are here. I have some peas coming in too. On the pea pods. And then these here, I pluck these every other day. And I got some more that are getting a little size on them. I got some voluntary mint too. I think I'm gonna come out here and get this out too. I need to clean out this area, cause I got stuff just growing. What my son say, busting out the roof. But until next time, you guys. My husband looks like he needs my attention. Look at him this morning. All right, bye, you guys. See you guys later. Love you. Happy growing.